5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy T-Lo.
Yo, what's Gucci? This your man Tweet.
What up, y'all? DJ Kid Fresh.
What's up? This your boy RL.
And we're next.
And you're rocking with The Rebirth every Monday at 7 p.m.
With your host, Shea Marriott.
Let's go.
And Eli Isabel.
At Philly Jam 95.3 FM.
Good evening. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jams 95.3 FM. I'm your host, Shea Marriott.
And it's your boy, Eli Isabel, a.k.a. The South Got Something to Say. Happy Monday, Shea.
Whoop, whoop. Happy Monday.
What it do, boo?
It's Monday again, man. I swear. We like go to sleep, wake up. We like, happy Monday.
It do come. I think it just skips itself almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't have nothing to do. It's over.
Yeah, but Mondays are always good here at the Rebirth. It's a Rebirth Monday, and we are coming off of an amazing weekend. We had a busy weekend this weekend, guys.
Woo.
How was your weekend? Thank you for tuning in to the Rebirth. We love our supporters.
Yes, family.
We're so grateful for you.
The Rebirth family. Thank you guys every Monday for just taking a second. We do not take you for granted. Please believe that.
Absolutely. So, guys, we have a recap show tonight.
Yes.
A recap of everything that took place this weekend. Like I said, it has been a busy weekend.
Bring me up to speed.
Oh, yeah, I know. I miss you, bro.
Listen,
missed you.
I really wanted to be a part of it. I just had, family obligations, but it looks like, and from the feedback I received, it was awesome.
Yeah, you had somebody spying on me, man, to make sure everything went down okay.
Yes, sir. I told her if there's any nonsense, let me know. Monday night, we will be calling this show Pre-Birth. We're going to just move right on into that.
I feel you. Well, before we get into it, we will be having a guest a little bit later that's going to be joining us through the phone, Stephen D. Williams, who is the Deputy Executive Director of Aviation Management Educator. So he will be coming on later during the show, and we're going to be talking about all the new amazing things that is happening here at the Newcastle Airport in Delaware, y'all.
Wow.
We catching flights.
What? Let's talk about it.
We catching flights. So he is going to be joining us, giving us the 411 of what's happening over there. Maybe we'll get some airline tickets too, man. I don't know.
Ain't lying. Maybe the Rebirth can get flued out.
Right, exactly. We get flued out, right?
No doubt.
Yeah. So again, welcome to the Rebirth on Philly Jams 95.3 FM. Listen, if you was a part of the Rebirth live this weekend, throw it in the chat. I want to know, how did you enjoy yourselves? Did you have a great time? Or if you would like to give us a call to let us know your feedback, give us a call at 267-908-3166. Again, that's 267-908-3166. This weekend was absolutely amazing. Starting off with Friday night.
Talk about that.
Friday night I'm about to say the old school, but I ain't even gonna say old school because I still feel like they're very relevant. All right, absolutely. But we got a chance to hang out at the Drew Hill 25th anniversary concert with Next and 1-2.
1-2.
I'm gonna say 1-2, but it was 112, but only two of them was there.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't have known initially because they came out as a group until you realized that like the two on the end didn't have microphones.
So was it Slim? I'm sure he was
Slim
there.
and Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, Slim and Mike. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But listen, still, even with 1-2, they put on a good show, So it was a good show. I needed that. I absolutely had a wonderful time.
You was backstage and stuff.
Listen, Jen here, Jen and Tosh, they held it down backstage,
Okay.
and I got a chance to sit out and enjoy the concert, which is what I really wanted to do. So, and I mean, I was up every song. When's the last time you've been to a show where every song you're pretty much up?
2 Saturdays ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. You was down in AC.
But
Calvin
anyway,
Richardson
yes,
and all of them.
And all of them.
Yeah.
All of them and
All
Calvin
of them
Richardson. You need to
and
know,
Calvin
learn
Richardson.
who all of them are.
Yeah.
But, so who was the best in your mind? I know they all did awesome, but who you think shut it down?
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that Next was my favorite because I'm going to say Next was my favorite because the sound. Because once Drew Hill got up there, the sound was not good at all. The sound was not good at all. Those boys can sing. All of them can sing.
Yeah.
Drew Hill can definitely sing. Everybody in there. Jazz came out, and Jazz had left the group years ago because he had it. He had an illness, but he came out, and I just forgot how bad that boy is. That boy can blow.
He can go. Yeah.
He can blow. But I was a little bit, not happy with the sound, the mics.
So the engineer did not do a great job. Is what you're saying.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I wasn't happy with the sound.
They need a Tasha. They need our team right here. They need a Jen and a Tasha to work the boards.
The sound was just a little distorted.
Okay.
But Drew Hill absolutely did a great job. They put on an absolutely great show. The reason why I said Next was my favorite is because when they were on, I could hear them clearly.
Okay.
And
who went last? Drew Hill, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the headliners. So it was Next, 112, and then Drew
112
Hill.
went before Next?
Yeah, they sold 112, they was on Bad Boy. They sold more albums and whatever.
All right,
so
let's go with that.
But yeah, it was a great time. I had a wonderful time. So we do have some footage of the show that we would like to share with you guys if you did not make it. Also, the two ladies that won tickets, if you are listening, let me know how, because I was looking for y'all, and I may have been sitting next to one of y'all. I'm not even sure. But let me know how you enjoyed the show. I would love to hear your feedback. Give us a call at 267-908-3166. So we're going to show some footage of Next, and then we'll talk about the Rebirth Live.
Myself, and even with men, I would say, is that when we have a spouse, we get so comfortable with just saying, you know what, well, I mean, why is it that you feel that way?
Sold out show again. Look at that. Look, we representing.
Do the damn thing.
Yes, Rebirth Live, we sold out again. And I mean, it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. We had a great time. Everybody was just comfortable. I mean, no question was off limit, right?
Oh, wow.
No question was off limit.
I missed that.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Bishop Rob Lewis.
He brought it.
He brought the heat.
That's what he do.
He brought the fire. Let me tell you. Them ladies, look, I had to say, hey now, listen. We said we wasn't going to be challenging. We was going to listen. We was going to, But everybody was raising their hand.
A little challenge is all right.
They wanted to comment. But I wasn't going to have anybody attacking. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you felt like it was going in that direction?
It could have. It could have. But here's the thing. We want to hear from the men. We want to hear what black men have to say. So we got to be willing to be quiet and listen and not go back or not do what happens if the roles were reversed? That's not what it was about. It was about setting a space, setting an atmosphere where men, both of us, we can feel safe in talking and having dialogue in a safe space. And we wanted to hear from the black men. And let me tell you, those brothers laid it down. They were very vulnerable. They really, really, really laid it down. So shout out to Nico Stratton, Marquise Elliott, Corey Wilkerson, and Bishop Rob Lewis, and the amazing Meshach Stennett held it down.
That's what's up.
As my guest co-host, because my partner couldn't be there with me. But we had a wonderful time. And Shannon Meyer killed it on the food.
That's what my niece said off the top. Said the food was blazing.
Let me tell you something.
What was on the menu?
Some lady took like 17 pieces of chicken. Shout out to the lady that took 17 pieces of chicken. I hope that was good, boo. I hope it was good. Shout out to you.
17 though?
Yeah, so we had lemon pepper wings. We had barbecue wings. I actually did the pasta salad, and we had Spanish rice and beans.
That's dope.
So it was nice. We had a wonderful time.
Jersey won on the 1 and 2?
Jersey won on the 1 and 2s. We did some networking and mingling. I had everybody, just let everybody know whatever you needed was in the room.
Right.
We had entrepreneurs and their therapists, tailors, and all kind of. Gundy came through.
Oh, wow.
Gundy stopped through. So shout out to you, Gundy. It was just an amazing time.
Ain't nobody asked for me?
Of course. Of course. Carl and Stan was there.
Jen said anybody.
Carl and Stan was there. They asked for you.
My
guys. Like, yeah, what happened to Eli? Yeah, absolutely. So the request is, when is the next one, right? I was just like, whoa. I need a rest. We just need to rest and regroup. But they want a Rebirth 4.
Wow.
They want a Rebirth 4. They felt like the conversation wasn't over. They could have still kept going.
So it'll be it'll be an all male panel again?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to announce that yet until we have a conversation about it. But we are definitely going to come back for a Rebirth 4. I'm not sure when that date will be, but we will be back. We definitely will be back. And thank you again for selling us out again. I mean, we have the best supporters.
Yes.
And I'm going to say partners. We have the best partners. And we appreciate you guys, and we love you.
Shout out to Revive.
Yep.
How about that?
Shout out to Revive.
Greg.
Shout out to Jen Marshall, Boss Up. I mean, she really held me down and made sure things was flowing. So I really appreciate her.
Thank you, Jen.
Tasha LaQueen. We had some tech issues, but we made it through. We got it through. And shout out to Jersey One. The barmaids that was there, they were absolutely amazing. So, we're gonna keep this thing going. Jen Fontel, she held it down at the front door. I love my team, right? Because those people I didn't even have to reach out. Like, she was just like, hey, what do you need me to do? She called me, what do you need me to do?
That's
right?
love.
So I appreciate that.
That's love.
I appreciate that. So that's people that, believe in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have those type of people on your team or in your circle,
It's harder.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all of you that came through and stood tall.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we are going to get into our Black History moment.
Yes, tonight. So as you know, Rebirth, we celebrate Black History Month. 12 months out of the year. 12 months a year. Do I need to say out of the year?
I don't know, friend.
All right. 12 months. 12 months of the year. 12 months out of okay. Anyway, we celebrate Black History Month every month. So, and also this being Women's History Month coming to an end. This will be our last Women's History Month shout out. So I decided to give you a twofer today.
Oh.
So Inez Beverly Prosser. When I give these names, I think you'd be thinking I'd be making these things up. Inez Beverly Prosser.
Okay.
Born in 1895, was a psychologist, teacher, and school administrator. Mm-hmm. She is often regarded as the first African-American female to receive a PhD in psychology. Her work was very influential in the hallmark Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court ruling. After growing up in Texas, Prosser was educated at Prairie View Normal College, now known as Prairie View A&M, the University of Colorado, and the University of Cincinnati. She was tragically killed in a car accident a short time after earning her doctorate, but widely considered the first African-American woman to earn a PhD in psychology. Shout out to Inez Beverly Prosser.
This is Inez. That's what's up. That's what's up.
She got two Inez and Beverly. See how the names shifted back?
Inez Beverly.
Inez Beverly. Now we got Daquan Ramon.
Okay.
I'm just saying how the names have shifted.
Oh.
The name is just different,
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
a fan of Inez's and Beverly's and Brenda's and Barbara's.
And Bertha's.
Bertha. I love Bertha. That's a great name.
Yeah.
Bertha. If this is 1962 and you were born, your name would be Bertha. Bertha Marshall. And it's okay. It's
So
okay.
silly.
Go ahead, Shay.
What up, Corey Wilkerson? Corey said those wings. He said the lady was in front of her and was in front of him. She had 30 pieces.
Damn.
30 pieces of wings.
Shit, the buffet.
Wow.
Who was she? Did you know?
I don't know. I didn't see it,
She
but I
wasn't with
kept
my niece,
hearing
was she?
about it.
'Cause
No,
nobody called
I don't
them.
think so. I don't think so.
That's
It's all
okay
good.
too.
We had some people that got a little tipsy there too. Little tipsy.
Some people can't hold their water.
Yeah, some people's a little tipsy. It's all good. We had a great time. All right, go
How
ahead.
was you?
bro.
How were you?
I was like in awe, man. I was just so happy. I was emotional.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very emotional because it's the third one. You know what I'm saying?
Did you drop one?
I teared up when I was honoring this young lady, Regina, who has supported and has come to everything that I have done, even the retreat in Jamaica.
Was that the one that was the first one at the show, the very first show, and you gave her, I think you gave her a gift basket for being the first person to arrive?
No, this was another
young lady.
girl.
Okay.
But Melmick won the gift last night. I mean, on Saturday night as well, for being the first one to purchase a ticket. She purchased the ticket as soon as I put the tickets on sale, and she has been, if I'm correct, to all three as well.
Wow.
So shout out to Melmick. We met and I asked her, I said, "Can I hug you?" Because I love to be able to touch my fans and be able to say, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So she received something, and Regina also, because not just the Rebirth live event she's come to, but she has come to Healing Her. She has come to anything that I have done or been a part of. You know what I'm saying? And I just want people to know, like, that means the world to me. I don't take that for granted. I really don't. And I really do appreciate that. So I got a little emotional
Just
when
a
I
little
was...
emo?
Little emo, It didn't drop, though, bro. It didn't drop because my makeup was on fleek. So I didn't... I don't wear makeup that often, but, when I got it done... And wait, I was so tired. Listen, I shouldn't even say this on air, but I was so tired. Guess what? That makeup stayed on me until yesterday. I went to sleep. I brushed my teeth and washed my eyes, but I did not feel like taking that makeup off. And I finally took it off yesterday. My fiance said, "Babe, you still made up from..."
Oh, you shut it down.
I said, "Listen, it's all good."
Oh, musty face.
When they put that much makeup on your face, it takes, forget you, it takes forever to get that stuff off your face.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who did you up?
Shout out to Beat by Wazzy. Yeah, she changed her name. Yeah, Beat by Wazzy. And she's good. She always do my makeup. She's a moi, as you call it, a makeup artist.
Oh, I was about to say.
That's what they call them. Yeah, she's a moi. But she's really good at what she do. So shout out to her. Yep.
All right.
That was a twofer?
That was it. Well, I want to talk about this brother, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Get into that as I right here, right now.
Okay.
So I figured since we have a little bit before, I guess we can kind of talk about him. So for those of you that are familiar with this brother, he's really becoming one of the hottest actors in Hollywood, Jonathan Majors. And over the weekend, he was accused of strangling and assaulting a 30-year-old woman. Now, since this whole thing has, he was arrested, and since this whole thing has happened, I read earlier today that the lady has now recanted her statement about what she said happened. So that happened. But here's the thing for me. Just like child support, when a kid is born and a woman says, "This is your child," and you find out 10 years later that that's not your baby. When people make false accusations about rape or assault or whatever, how come there are never any... Where's the punishment for the accusers?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with
how
that.
do people get to make these? Because guess what? If somebody sells you something, if the business advertises something and it's a false advertisement, and you purchase something and it breaks the next day and it's supposed to be a lifelong, you can get your money back. You can always be compensated for that product not being what it is. So how do people get to say things about people and then take it back, and that's supposed to be the end of it?
Yeah. Now, can't you? So people, I know people do definitely sue for defamation, right? Because that's what Johnny Depp did.
Right.
He went after, the lady that, his ex-wife, that accused him for all of those things. But, like law-wise, like what? That's basically
that's what I'm saying. Like, why isn't there any consequences? Like even Michael Irvin, my cowboy, out in Vegas, a lady accused him of physically, touching her inappropriately. The whole time they have cameras in the lobby of this, I think it was a hotel or a casino. I think it was a hotel. And they're watching this, and they're in no way, shape, or form did he ever touch her at all. So then she started to say, well, he was talking to her very inappropriately and aggressive. Which is it? Did he assault you? Did he touch you?
Yeah, I hate
or what
stuff
are we doing?
like that.
And that's how you ruin people's reputation.
Absolutely. I know Corey has a lot to say about this. What up, sis? Sis is on Carl online. What up, C?
Exactly, see? That's what I'm saying. No repercussions for false accusations. That is that BS. Like, what do we... there should be something.
Yeah.
And you know what? To me, even more importantly, if I've been paying child support for 10 years and I find out this kid ain't mine, do I get my money back?
That's a good question.
Like, what? But you don't.
Yeah.
Because I've known people to find out a kid is not theirs 10 years down the line, and they've been paying child support for a kid that belonged to somebody else. Like, that's crazy
That
how
is
women...
crazy.
I guess anybody can do it, but it seems to be more of a thing where men are accused of things, and, if they're found out to be unwarranted or unfounded, his reputation is done, he's out of money, he's out of all these things trying to fight the fact that someone made this accusation about him.
Yeah.
So something needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's not cool. I know Corey had a lot to say on that because he sent me the article, and I'm like, he was like, this is what I'm talking about. And he's absolutely right, and yeah, I would be pissed off as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look good on us for women, because what if something like that truly do happen?
Right.
And then now it's not believable, because there's been so many people out there that's crying wolf that when you really need the help, nobody's believing you, no one comes. So.
And this is the main reason I don't take female clients. Not because, I know me. That's impossible. I don't even think that way. But it just takes a kid to be pissed off at me for something. Something I may have told that parent, you should do this, and they're being, not, I don't know how it could work out when the kid's mad at me and now Mr. Ed did this. I don't have time for that. So I don't work with no girls. Give me the roughest, toughest little hood boys you got, and we'll figure it out. But I ain't these little,
Yeah.
Miss me with all that.
Understandable.
So,
all right,
Jonathan
man.
Majors right here, right now.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, that's crazy. So is it done?
I don't know.
It's
it's not done just like that, I'm sure. There's probably going to be another little process to it. However, did you see the two guys that, what's the boy name from the TV show with Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson? What was that show he was on? It was on Fox. It was real big.
Oh, Empire.
What's his name? Jussie Smollett. Did you see the two guys that they did an interview and they talked about how they set up the whole thing?
Nah, I didn't see
Oh
that.
my God, the two Nigerian brothers, whatever they are.
That's embarrassing.
Yo.
That's embarrassing.
They put it all out there. I'm like, yo, why would he? I'm just trying to understand what his mindset was. Like, what were you thinking? You're black, you're gay, and you're in Hollywood. You're the ish.
Yeah.
What do you need to do that for?
That's crazy. Yeah. He wanted more, right? He wanted more focus on him, more attention.
And he killed his career.
Trying to boost his career, he killed it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanira. That's crazy. Why am I keep doing that? That's crazy to me. Like, do you really are at the top, at the pinnacle of your career right there, and you decide, let's do this. And they were saying how they were hitting him, but they were trying not to hurt him, but they needed to leave some kind of marks.
Right.
Like, they told it all. I'm like, yo, that's wild. Who has time for that?
Why would they even want, so they were paid to do it, obviously, right? It was a paid thing, but still, not all money ain't good money. They should have known eventually that was gonna come out. I'm just saying. Yeah.
They should have gave him a real beat down for real.
Absolutely.
Because they got caught up too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but being gay is a new cool thing. So all he had to do was just be gay and be a great artist.
They loved him.
They
The boy
loved
can sing.
him. He was
can
dope.
sing.
He is dope.
Absolutely. I mean, he didn't need to do all of that. He was making a name for himself, and then, you know.
From a mental health perspective, what would you give that? That whole thing, what would you say?
The whole attention-seeking thing?
If you had to diagnose him, what would you say?
He's diagnosed with stupidity. That's what he was diagnosed with. Just being plain old stupid. Everything ain't crazy. Everything ain't a mental illness thing either. And that's another thing. Listen, stop blaming everything on mental illness, because everything's not a mental illness. Some people just stupid. There, I said it. Some people, that is stupid. That's stupid. I mean, there's no other word for it. That was just dumb. He wanted clout. You know, he wanted to, you know, that was just dumb. So, whatever. Okay.
I wonder if I made a report and said you swung on me in the parking lot. Would anybody believe it? Yeah. Would anybody believe it? Would they come to my rescue and defend me?
No, they're not coming to your rescue.
Why wouldn't I get the benefit of the doubt? But if you said I swung on you, everybody and mama would believe that. Oh, he hating on you anyway. That's probably why he tried to swing on you, because you won't let him call the show pre-birth. Hating. But if I said, oh, he like, hey, ain't no shit. Why would she swing on him?
You're so silly.
They don't get the men don't get no benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
My bad.
So we have our guest on the phone, Stephen D. Williams. He is a Deputy Executive Director of Aviation Management Education. I believe he is over both Delaware and New Jersey from what I understand. But we're going to talk to him for a little bit, find out what's going on here in Newcastle, Delaware with the airline. Now, I need to get the right pronunciation of that airline. Is it Avelo or Avelo? Hello, welcome to the Rebirth.
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can, Mr. Williams. Can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
So before we get started, I want to make sure that we are using the right pronunciation. Is it Avelo or Avelo Airlines?
Well, what I try to tell people is they use the word hello before the word Avelo.
Okay.
And that gets your pronunciation right. So if you use the two together, hello, Avelo, that'll at least help you with the pronunciation. So it is Avelo.
Avelo. Okay. Thank you so much.
Wow. Okay. That's easy.
So you're speaking to Shea and Eli. We're going to go back and forth a little bit, asking a couple of questions. But could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Williams?
Sure. Well, I am you mentioned the Deputy Executive Director for the Delaware River Bay Authority. I also serve as the Airport Director for the authority's 5 airports. We have 5 airport facilities between Delaware and New Jersey. And our flagship airport is the Wilmington Airport. And in New Jersey, we have airports in Cape May, Southern New Jersey, Cape May, and Millville.
Okay.
And then there are two airports in the Dover area that we also manage. So we have 5 airports between the two states that we manage, and all of those airports come under our portfolio of airport management. But that's not all we do. We also operate the Delaware Memorial Bridge and the Cape May Lewis Ferry as well.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So we're involved in transportation in the region. Let's put it that way, I guess.
Okay.
Wow, that's awesome. So I have a question for you. So you worked your way up to this Deputy Executive Director. What was your first job in transportation aviation? Where did you come from?
My first job? Where did I come from? That's a good question. Well, the long story of aviation, most people involved in this business is that you get bitten by that bug at a very early age. That's what happened to me. Going way back to being in my mother's womb, I was on a plane, and we like to tell that story that in her journey, it was a rough ride, and she's not surprised that I ended up in this business. But I really have only wanted to do this aviation thing. It's been in my blood all my life. Mm-hmm. So I grew up in New York. I grew up on the outskirts of JFK Airport, and always watched and was fascinated with planes, with commercial aviation particularly, and knew that's what I wanted to do. I also wanted to be a commercial pilot at one point.
Oh, wow.
Learn to fly, but you know what was my first job was the question really. So my first job really was working at the airport, cleaning planes. Actually,
Okay.
Wow.
cleaning commercial airplanes, and you know, that was the fun part for me because I was in and around the airplanes. It wasn't. I did that while I put myself through school, really, and from there, started working my way up. I worked for the New York City government for an internship, their Department of Transportation, oversaw all the helicopter operations in and around Manhattan, and then my first real job in the airport business was managing the two airports in Atlantic City, New Jersey then. I did that. I got thrust into it very, very early on. I was the youngest vice president for the Pan Am Corporation. At 24 years old, I became a vice president organization, managing the two airports then in Atlantic City. And then that company, that private sector company, I did some international work for them in Latin America. So I spent some time overseas doing that for them, investigating new airport opportunities. Spent 11 years on Long Island at the Republic Airport, which is an airport sort of just outside New York City. Did that for 11 years. And in 2005, I was recruited to come to the DRVA as its airport director, which would have been the second airport director they had. I've been there ever since. Been here ever since, doing this job, which has expanded into doing other things as well. So in my deputy executive director hat, I also have marketing, communications, and economic development for the authority as well. So it's a plate of things that I do, all of which in part center on airports and aviation. But there's a lot of other pieces to it, but and extracurricular things that I get involved in, like being involved with the Delaware Aviation Advisory Council. I taught at Delaware State University for a little bit.
Okay.
And in my trade organization, I hold some other titles as well. But really, it's about aviation and airports, and and how we think that that's a really, really great thing. We want to try to get young people involved in, and
Absolutely.
Sort of educate people about this business and how it's we're underrepresented as African Americans are underrepresented, and actually a lot of people are underrepresented in
Yes.
this business.
Women as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Women as well, and so yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, can I just tell you how I'm always proud to see people who look like me doing like awesome things.
Yeah.
And the way you work yourself up from, like when you first started cleaning the planes. And I think young people need to see that you can obtain your goals and you can live a certain lifestyle, but it's not going to happen overnight. And I think your story probably is a great story for young people to hear.
Absolutely.
I mean, you went from did you watch Martin back in the day?
Yeah.
You went from being Cole Brown to look at you now. That's a great come up, baby. Talk about inspiration.
No one's ever had used that analogy with me. But that's okay.
Cole cleaned the planes. but I'm saying that jokingly, but that's amazing.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm proud to even be sitting here talking to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. Appreciate that.
So talk to us about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just said I don't tell a lot of people that story, but it is certainly how I got my start, and I always knew that it was not about that. It was about where I was headed, and all that stuff. So
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. That's awesome.
But it's good for people to hear that, because sometimes people just see you in that top position and think that that's where you started, and that's not where you started. So I'm glad that you shared that with us here on the Rebirth. Thank you for that.
All right, no problem.
Yes.
No problem.
So Avelo, hello,
Avelo.
hello, Avelo.
Hello.
Okay, so
Hello.
Avelo Airlines, I know once that was announced, I know just, in my circle, people were chatting, hey, we could fly out of Newcastle now. This is exciting. So talk to us a little bit about, being able to, right now, I believe it's just going to Florida, but you guys are looking to open up more flights other states.
Yeah.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay.
So February 1st, they started nonstop service from Wilmington. And again, I think the important thing about the airport, people call it different things. You just mentioned Newcastle, but it's the same facility that we like to now focus the name Wilmington on the airport, just to ensure that people understand the brand. So the brand is really Wilmington. The metro area is Wilmington. But anyway, it's the same thing. But so they started a service February 1 with service to 5 nonstop destinations from Wilmington, 5 Florida cities that have a traditional sort of connection with the Northeast and whatever, where people want to go: Orlando, Tampa, Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, which is a little different from what we've had traditionally. Actually, we've never had service to either Fort Lauderdale or West Palm. We have had service in the past other airports. And you're correct. So the model that this airline is basing it on is that Wilmington is that's the word. It's a base of operations for them, meaning they have an aircraft and flight crews that are actually called Wilmington home. And then that airplane that's based here flies those city destinations throughout the week. So every day there are 2 different destinations that are flown of those 5. So each of the cities is flown twice a week. Again, nonstop destinations, and that's the kind of model that is used at small airports like Wilmington around the country. You go to a big airport and you're going to get multiple frequencies to the same city, per day, and that's okay. That's they've earned that right. What we're trying to do is to tailor with the startup of this service, we're trying to generate the interest and the ridership that will make each of those destinations successful. And so even if we start off a little slow with just twice a week, so far the flights are all full.
Wow.
We're seeing tremendous response. Our parking lot is full. The customers, I think, importantly, are happy with the service, and we are. We're hoping that this is different from what we've done in the past. We have had service to Delaware before with different airlines, but we really I spent a lot of time on this one over the years, in a hope that we will have the right formula this time. In the past, we've had airlines that just sort of made a stop in Wilmington. Including an airline like Delta Airlines that had service to Wilmington from Atlanta, but again, it was not something that they were particularly focused on from a network perspective. This airline, because they are a startup airline, they need us just like we need them.
Right.
And so they're invested in making this work, and it's the right formula for us because this is about so much more than just air service for us. This is parochial for me. This is parochial in the sense of, really, really wanting the community to be able to use the hometown airport. And that's been a theme throughout for me, is making travel accessible to people, especially in our community. I think it really isn't much more complicated than that. The work is complicated behind the scenes, but and I think we're starting to see the results. So the key word here is sustainability and making sure that.
Can you hear him? Are we losing him? Did you hear him? Last thing.
The last part.
Yeah, and that's really what we're about here, and trying to make that, stick to that and not lose sight of that. That's very, very important.
Definitely.
So will as this thing continues to take off, will we see like expansion over at the airport? Was there opportunity to create like more jobs for people here at in the Wilmington Newcastle area?
Yeah. So if we we need to do this. We need to do this sort of in an iterative fashion. Meaning we need to build on it. But yes, the answer to your question is yes. The airline is already talking about. They are really pleased with the results, and that would mean a second aircraft that would be added to Wilmington, and that second aircraft would likely fly non-Florida cities for the first time. So we're talking about Chicago, Nashville, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, potentially another Florida city, Jacksonville, and maybe some destinations north of Wilmington, like Boston as well. And that's really where we think you will start to see the impact that we think this is going to have. We have to match that. We have to match that with airport improvements and things like that that we're working on. But the airline didn't get into this to make it a short-term thing. Their interest and our interest is in the long-term nature of this. And so that's what we've done so far, and we're hopeful that the community and the will continue to respond, as they have. And we're hoping that by the late summer, or maybe around the June-July timeframe, they will be announcing additional cities from Wilmington.
Wow.
We're really hopeful for that.
Very exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, is the wait time, the arrival time, is it the same as it will be for like Philadelphia Airport, 2 hours to come ahead of time for a flight?
So there are some things that work differently in Wilmington, as you would expect, because we're a little smaller. We still encourage people to show up and check in at least an hour before flight time. But as far as the 2 hour wait, no. Your time that you actually arrive and park till the time that you can board your aircraft, it's a very short window. The walk is very short as well from the parking lot to the airplane. So we like to think a minimum of an hour for people to from the time you park to the time you get on board. And so it's an easier process, but at the same time, so it's not 2 hours like it is at other places, that's for sure.
I think the beauty of it too is a local, people that are in the Wilmington area, the commute is over as far as Philadelphia, Newark, Baltimore, like all these different places that people have to travel to catch a flight, and that nightmare parking and catching a shuttle over to the daggone gate. Like this is a beautiful thing on that alone.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and the key word that I use is that the value of your entire trip. Remember that when you go to Philadelphia, you go to Baltimore, you are parking there, and you are hopefully you're parking there. But it's the total trip cost for you is fairly pricey. It can be fairly pricey at those airports. The daily cost to park at I won't. I have a lot of friends that work at Philadelphia Airport. So, but the point is really that it's your value of your trip in Delaware is much better. And what I like to say as well is we get to keep all those dollars in Delaware. We get to the folks that use our airport. That's tax dollars. Those are jobs that you're supporting in Delaware. Those are jobs you're supporting at the airline. Those are jobs that you're supporting for folks that live here. And I think that's an important something. I've always felt like we should be able to have a piece of this really, really this business, which is all over the country, all over the United States, and all over the world. That Delaware should be able to have with an airport like we have. That is fully capable of accommodating this. We should be able to have some of this ourselves, a piece that we keep for ourselves, that support us, and that we can grow from there. And so that's what this visionary thing has been all about. It's really been about trying to restore air service that is affordable and that can yield benefits for the community as a whole. And I think that's what we're starting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you would like our listeners to know about Avelo and this whole experience?
Well, yes, that air service has returned. That for the moment, if you have a need and you or your family or folks that you want to visit at those 5 Florida destinations, can get you just about anywhere in Florida, East Coast, West Coast, the Miami area, these are things that we've anticipated for a while and have looked forward to it. So the product really is aveloair.com, and there is a discount code for anyone that wants to book. And, you know, we know that people, when they make travel reservations, they think about traveling. We usually say in the business that people make the decision in about 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if any of your listeners tonight want to make that decision, there's a code that's just for our airport that's good until the end of June. It's FLY ILG, India Lima Golf, or ILG is the 3-letter code for Wilmington Airport. So it's the words FLY ILG 20, and that gets people a $23 off a round trip ticket that they would book on Avelo between now and June 30th. So that's the message, and you know, stay tuned for more announcements and more destinations in the next couple of weeks. We're hopeful for that, and we have to do our part to expand the airport in to make that happen as well. So
Right.
it's a lot of work, a big commitment, a lot of work we have ahead of us, but we're up for the challenge. We're working with our leaders here in Delaware, the congressional delegation and others. It's a big deal for us and as a community. It's one more thing to put Delaware on the map,
Yes.
to make, you know, residents and citizens be able to use the hometown airport and to connect us to the rest of the United States. I mean, it really is as simple as it sounds. It was something that wasn't easy to get done over the years and make it stick. So this is a really important something that we're doing. You know, I've been at this for, you know, more than 15 years now, and you know, we're really hopeful that it's kicked off so well.
Wow.
Really happy that it's kicked off so well. So yeah.
Very good. Well, we're first of all, we're proud of you sitting in this position and how you're making things happen around here. And Shea, I guess we got to fly out of Wilmington.
We got to fly out of Wilmington.
Fly out
Yes,
of Wilmington.
I'm ready.
Yes, I want to see what Mr. Williams has going on over there.
Yes, I'm ready. I want to go to Tampa. My best friend lives in Tampa.
Yeah, come and
so.
visit us. Come and visit us and see what we're doing, and absolutely, love to have you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you calling in, talking to us. And yes, best of luck over there at Avelo. And I remember, hello,
Yeah.
Avelo.
Hello, Avelo.
Hello, Avelo. That's how you get it right.
And
Yeah.
Mr. Williams, if you never need anything from Rebirth, any support in any way, let us know. We'll be happy to be there for you.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
We want to verify that code one more time. That's FLYILG 20.
23.
23.
Fly, the word
Okay.
fly, FLYILG 23.
Okay,
And
got it.
that is a booking code that you put in when you go through your booking process. Fly ILG 23 is
All
the
right.
is the code for it. for the
Okay, we
discount.
got it
Okay?
correct now. Yes, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your
All right.
time.
You're welcome. You
All
take
right,
care.
have a good night.
Okay. You too. Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that was great. That was awesome.
Mr. Stephen D.
Yeah.
Williams.
His story on how he started. Wow.
Amazing.
It is. It is amazing. It really is.
I really do like talking to people who look like us that are doing great things. Like that inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was dope. That was a dope interview.
Yeah, guys. So if you wanna book a flight, you might want to get on there and use that code before June. It's FlyILG23. FlyILG23 for 20% off your flight. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for calling into the Rebirth and giving us the scoop on the Wilmington Airport.
Do you think
Yeah.
the Cole Brown thing throw him off? I shouldn't have said that.
You know what? You can't even be serious not for 15 minutes.
But that's what Cole did. Cole cleaned the flames.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Now, he didn't elevate like Mr. Williams, of course.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. All right.
Jen, how are you?
All right. So, again, guys, if you want to book a flight with Avelo, I have to keep saying that to keep that right.
It's certain words that kick your butt.
Yeah, it is. You know, that's that violent in me. Put the code in Fly ILG 23, and you'll get 20% off your flight. I wish I would have known that 2 weeks ago.
Where you about to go?
No, well, my son's father moved to Florida.
Yeah.
And they're going to be going to visit their father after my son's graduation, and we already booked our we booked our tickets already.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going.
Oh, I thought you said we. My fault. I just say we.
We booked their tickets. We booked their tickets, not we going. Trying.
No, I was about to question the whole setup.
I thought
you said we.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I said it's really going to be the pre-birth in about 2 weeks if you go down there.
I know that's right.
Glad you're not going.
No, I'm not going. So we only got about 10 more minutes left in the show, but it's something that I wanted to, and I know this is going to take more than 10 minutes, but I just wanted to throw this out there. Do you guys, those of you that are listening, do you think that at what point, that's not even a question. Let me see, how do I want to put this? Do you feel that sometimes we've outgrown friendships that we still hold on to because we've known them for so long, or we've been good friends with them for so long? But truthfully, we probably should have deaded it a while ago. What is your thoughts on that? Do you have somebody that you call a best friend, or someone that you call, really close, and you guys are best friends and you're close because of the amount of years that you've known each other? But does that title still fit now in 2023? Does it still fit? I want to hear from you. What is your thoughts, Eli?
I think definitely. You know what? I used to think that men are men, so we can just be cool forever, no matter what. And we overcome, because most male friendships, they can make it through just about anything. Where with women, it's a little different. But there is a person or two that I don't talk to as much as I used to, for various reasons. And I don't know if I looked at it as I've outgrown it, but now that I think about it, now that you mention it that way, and it sounds selfish, but I don't think that relationship serves me. And I probably don't serve that person either. We don't meet. This sounds weird because we're two men, but we don't meet each other's needs like how we once clicked in when we were younger and how we hung out and rocked. So I guess I never really thought about men outgrowing each other. Yeah. Unless you're, but sometimes you have to cross this. Who you're talking about?
Yeah. Sis says, absolutely, longtime friends come and go, unfortunately. And he says, Shay, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I do, bro.
And that's sad, though, that it comes to that.
Yeah, but, absolutely. Yeah,
so what about you?
Because it's emotional. Anyone? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So listen, I try to do this 2 times a year, and I've said this on the show before, but I reevaluate my circle 2 times a year. I do it right before New Year's, and I do it when I'm starting to feel burned out or drained. Right. Like if I feel like I have to kind of check and see what's going on in my circle. Who's taking more than they putting in, you know what I'm saying? Who am I always, hearing, but they don't ask how my day is going. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I try to reevaluate my circle, at least twice a year, just to kind of see if those positions still fit. And, sometimes it don't, and it's okay. Just like in relationships and in your, significant relationships, right? People kind of outgrow each other, or you start to go on different paths, So I think it's okay to acknowledge that. I'm not saying you got to be enemies, but that title may not fit all the time, So, and I think, honestly, the best friend thing and all of that, I have a lot of women that are very, very close to me. And, to put titles on them to say, this is my best friend, and I know this person may interact with me or check on me every day.
Right.
It's kind of, yeah. So I definitely believe that people do outgrow each other. And you got to know, you do have to know when, that time is up.
So how do you move away from that friendship? Because I'll tell you how I do it. How do you move away from that friendship?
I be honest with myself, right? I just like I reevaluate my relationships with those people. I also reevaluate myself. Am I being a good friend?
Right.
You know, am I doing what I need to do? Because what happens if you say something to someone and say, hey, I don't want this person, they're not being a good friend to me, but actually you're the one that's not being a good friend to them. You're not reaching out. You're not taking time to spend with them or whatever the case may be. So I make sure that, what I am expecting that I'm also, giving as well. Right. But no, I just put space in. I put healthy boundaries in place. I'm not a person that I don't need to talk to you every day. I just don't. And if you're expecting me to do that, I'm sorry. You're going to always be disappointed because I do like my time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I need that time to just be quiet, be by myself, not be on the phone and, all of that. So I don't need to speak to you every day. And I think if you require that in a friendship, then I'm probably not the person you want to be friends with. And I'll be honest with you about that. But to answer your question is, no, I just put healthy boundaries in place. And there's no love lost. There's no hate. There's no nothing. It's just that, hey, I must still support you from a distance. But, we're just not in the same space anymore. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you do it?
I mean, I just kind of stopped talking to you.
Damn.
I mean, this is me. But you just touched on something. Like, as I've gotten older, and I'm gonna assume you too, based upon what you just said. I really appreciate. Okay.
I age backwards.
As you mature, I find really. I'm my Kevin Samuels right now. I find high value in being by myself.
Yeah.
And not talking on the phone or not communicating with people. Like, I can sit in my garage or on my deck by myself for hours and be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't have to be in the mix anymore. Like, just give me something to drink. Give me some brown. Give me some old school music. And leave me alone for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm cool.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I also think, too, it also comes with our jobs as well, what we do. I'm talking to people all day throughout the day. All day throughout the day. And the last thing I need is when I'm done, my sessions is, a friend or family calling to have their own session.
Right.
I'm just like, okay. But, I was guilty of, you will always tell me, what would you always tell me, friend?
Listen, stop pouring into all these people that don't give you nothing back. You're running yourself raggedy.
Yeah.
And you was exhausted
Yeah.
from that. Mentally,
Absolutely.
emotionally, and physically. I used to be like, girl, you helping everybody. And you know who else is like you? And I tell him this too, Duff. Dude, like, slow down. Because if you die tomorrow, somebody else going to jump right in there and run that program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we have to, as we're getting mature, as we're becoming mature, I ain't going to say older, we really have to take advantage. Listen, we're only here for a short time. And I'm learning that more and more. I feel like monthly. Things are happening to people around me that I love. And I just feel like we really not have to do this self-care thing.
Yeah.
So whatever that looks like for you, and if that means purging your friends, your friendship thing on Facebook and Instagram, do what you have to do.
And family, y'all. Sometimes you got to purge some family. I mean, let's keep it real. Sometimes you have to purge some family. And I know that's very hard to do because, people say, well, that's family. But family can drain you as well. So put up those healthy boundaries. Put those healthy boundaries in place. You got to preserve. We got to preserve,
And just so you know, I talked Miss Eileen out of cutting you off at January 1st. She said you get on her nerves.
Yeah, right.
So your mother is still going to rock with you for the remainder of the year. Just understand that. If you get out of pocket, you stressing her out.
My mama love me.
You're going to get cut off, too. Speaking of family.
I wish he was on here tonight. I'd be like, Mom, Eli on here lying on you. He lying on you.
Miss Eileen had this conversation New Year's Eve. She was like, well, Ed, I don't know. She wearing me down. I said, Miss Eileen, give her one more chance.
Yeah, right. Tanera said, me too, Eli. Have value in being alone. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, yeah, that's all I wanted to share. I mean, like I said, we had 10 minutes left, and that just kind of was laid on my spirit. And I just wanted
Carl
to throw it
Rice
out there.
lives. Oh, look, Miss Eileen.
Mommy,
She
you
in the
on
building.
there? She said, not your mom, Shay Shay. I know that, Mommy. You over here telling lies.
Miss Eileen,
Telling
don't. Miss
lies.
Eileen, feel free to cut her off if she starts stressing you. We just talked about that.
She'll never cut me off. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my uncle, Aldwin Williams. I call him Uncle Art. He came through, him and his
Okay,
wife,
that's what's up.
Stephanie, and we had a great time. Let me tell you how important it is when my family shows up for me. That it means so much because I am a Jersey girl, and I've been here since '93, I believe. And I don't get home that often. I know that. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I lost my grandmom, it's been hard to go back home. So, and matter of fact, she just had a birthday. So, I don't get a chance to see or spend time with my family a lot. But when we together, it just feels like heaven. And we have so much fun. So the fact that my uncle, his wife Stephanie, came to support, it meant so much. My mom, Mr. Joseph, was there. It meant so much. And this is the second Rebirth Live that my mom and Mr. Joseph attend. Okay. And you know, my mom, I'm glad that she's able to see me do what I love, because my goal is to change one person, change one conversation at a time.
Right.
And, you know, if one person walks away being touched or changed, then I've done what I needed to do.
Absolutely.
You know? So I just want to say thank you to my family for showing up for me, showing up for the rebirth. And it meant a lot. That was fuel. That gave me, because I was exhausted. I'm not even going to lie. I was exhausted. Because there is a lot of things that, we have going on. But my family coming, it just gave me a recharge. And so I thank you for that. So I'm going to end it by saying there will be a Rebirth 4 coming. We're going to just take a break and rest. We do have, I'm talking about rest, but I got something coming up next week. I have Rediscovering Her, which will be April 6th. There is still time to sign up. If you go to my website, Rebirth U, look for groups and classes. You can sign up for Rediscovering Her for April 6th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Guys, it's only $25. And this is for the woman that has lost her identity, who has lost who she is. It's for the woman that when you say, "Who are you?" and she tells you she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a sister, it's for her because she can't really tell you who she is. So Rediscovering Her is getting back to knowing who you are, what's your purpose, and what it is that God has called you to be. You are more than just a wife, a mother, a sister, a director, a therapist, whatever it is that you do, you're more than that. So definitely. And if this is not for you, let somebody else know. Share it with somebody else, because trust me, this happens. It happened to me when I was married before. It happened to me. And then when I got divorced, I was just like, okay, my whole identity was in my marriage and being a mom. So I had to rediscover who I was. And that's where Rebirth came from. That's where the name Rebirth came from. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I knew, what I thought was supposed to happen, I had to let that die. Right. And rebirth something new. So this is not something that what I'm doing is something I personally went through, right? So this is where this stuff is coming through. I'm not just making up stuff. I walked this journey, right? So April 6th, Rediscovering Her. Get your tickets, $25 to register, and it's going to be powerful, and it is a virtual group. So, yeah. What about you, bro? You working on a book, right? You're not talking about this often, but when can we expect
I want
this
it
book?
done first before I needed proof. I want everything to be completely done. So the book is going to be called, you're going to laugh, like, what the hell is that? It's going to be called The Green Thing. And if you know what those green electrical boxes are that sit in fields, so growing up, that was where we all met and we all came together.
Okay, I have one on the side of my house.
And we sat on these things not knowing we could have probably died.
My kids was sitting on them. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's basically my story coming of age and how my life with my friends and the people in my community, it revolved around. If you meet anybody from my hometown and be like, where's the green thing? I don't care how old they are, they're going to tell you exactly where it is, because that was like the meeting point in that open space where we played football, we played basketball. But the green thing, everything we did, talking about girls and relationships, the green thing was always right there. That was the one thing that was, people came and went, but the green thing was there.
Wow.
So I'm working, just, give me time.
Okay.
Because, it's been so many things to get in the way, and it kind of slows me up a little bit with my family and stuff. So I got to really just focus in on what I'm doing with that.
Okay.
But it's coming.
All right.
I've changed the name, so
The
I've settled on the green, THANG. And it's going to be a picture of that actual green thing in that field from my hometown.
That's dope.
Yeah, so
we're gonna claim bestseller.
We come
We're
in
gonna
2023.
speak it into existence.
All you women that are raising boys, you're gonna get this perspective.
All right. Okay.
We coming.
Okay. I can't wait. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate. We love you again. Thank you for tuning into the Rebirth. We are here every Monday night at 7 p.m. And we will see you next Monday. Until then, have a blessed week and take care of yourself and your family. And remember, think about this. Who are you still calling a friend and a best friend that you should have let go a long time ago? Think about it. We'll see you next Monday. God bless.
We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now. We've got something to share. We're really proud of our product and are excited to make it available on our website. Check it out now.